Shout out to the Cows gang. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer, and welcome to the show, Victim or Volunteer. What I want y'all to do, grab the nearest couch, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
Man. All I gotta say is, who needs enemies with friends like these? Now, I want to talk about an 18-year-old from Fort Worth, Texas, or Arlington, Texas, by name of Kayla Horne. Now, she got a TikTok page where she, do hair and she shows her face and skin. As you see, she's light skinned, she's mixed. She loves to do hair like she do other people's hair. She do her own hair, show a bunch of styles and stuff like that. Pretty little girl, right? And she was out with some friends and, typical 18, thinking they grown, they drinking alcohol, kicking and whatnot. But what happened on the early morning hours on Sunday, she was left beaten, robbed, and left on the side of the road. You can't make this shit up. To the point where she came out in the interview and said, "I thought I was gonna die." And she talked about a terrifying experience. So what they said happened was they was drinking and they didn't want to go to a happy hours spot. She couldn't go in there because she was 18, plus she was sick from the drinking. And when the people got out the after hours came back, they saw that she was sick and she threw up in the car. And they was pissed off, and all of a sudden they start giving her a beat down. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let the news go ahead and speak on that.
Oh, look at the employee.
If you saw Kayla Horn, you notice she's always smiling. In this video, you'll notice her passion, but she wants you to look at her right now.
I was tumbling on the street. Like I thought I was going to die.
The 18-year-old, beaten by people she trusted. Her face nearly unrecognizable, cuts all over her hands and her body. And this is her Aunt Jessica, sitting beside her.
This could have happened to anybody. She could have been dead. We couldn't have had her here today.
It happened early Sunday morning. Fort Worth police say they got a call of a robbery near the 6600 block of Brentwood Stair Road just before 6 a.m. Earlier that morning, Kayla says she and her other friend who was 18 met up with several other people who were older. They were drinking and went out to an after-hours club. Kayla says she stayed in the car and wasn't feeling well. She says she threw up in the car. And she says when the others came back to the vehicle, they were upset.
And out of nowhere, one of the girls had punched me in my mouth and my jaw. We just kept getting beat on.
She says they took her phone, money, and jewelry, then pushed her outside of the car, leaving her on the side of the road.
Nobody should have been drinking. Nobody should have been driving. You just don't do something like that to somebody.
Fort Worth police say they are charging the suspects with aggravated robbery.
I don't know why they're not getting charged with more, because they tried to kill her.
And while this 18-year-old just wants the bruises on her face to heal, she's stuck with the fact that her trust in others was broken.
Something needs to be done.
In Tarrant County, I'm Richard Solomon.
Man, did y'all see that? You see her face, man? This pretty little girl and the aftermath. Now, in my opinion, to me, it seems like the way they beat her like that, seems like they just were just waiting on a reason to beat her. I don't think it was set up that way, but I think it was I can't wait she give me a reason type. And to me, they let all their anger and hate, frustration go into that little girl. And remember, she said out of nowhere, one of the girls just punched her in the jaw and the mouth and just kept getting beaten on. And they stole her phone, her money, her jewelry, and then pushed her out of the car, leaving her on the street. You know what I'm saying? The Fort Worth Police Department, received a call about a robbery on the 6600 block of Brentwood Stair Road around 6 a.m. Sunday morning. So this happened basically about Saturday night. They was all kicking and everything. And it's crazy. So now the suspects are facing charges of aggravated robbery. And as you see, the auntie want more severe charges. I doubt they do anything more than what it is. But She got emotional scars. She got a broken trust finger. She got facial wounds, but from a look, it will heal. I guess they decided to put it out there to let everybody know this what happens when you're around fake friends. Now, I went on Facebook and looked at the video from Eric Johnson. Shout out to him, man. He always posted some videos that need to be seen. And when I look in the comments, man, a lot of people have, surprised. They say the same thing. What do y'all think, House Gang? Do you think that it wasn't even really about the throwing up in the car? It's more about an excuse to rearrange her face? You know, nice skin, pretty, get attention on social media, and they probably ain't getting that because they, you know, darker, or maybe their hair nappier, maybe because they don't have that type of look. What do y'all think about that? Do you think it's more than what it is? The next one says, so instead of them seeing if she was okay, need to go to the hospital or even home, they beat her up. What the I hope all her so-called friends are in jail because as a mother, I have bail money. Sound like some haters to me, praying for her healing. Pray she has a better luck with finding better friends. Another one says, now the reality is you were out with people that were not your friend. So get intoxicated beyond the ability to help yourself is insanity. Lesson learned. And she does have a point about that. You 18, you ain't supposed to be drinking anyway. And, you know, look what happened. Harsh to some people, but at the same time, that is the truth. Another person says a similar thing happened to my friend's niece. She was either thrown or fell out the car. Her friends left her and she died. Wow, now that's definitely an unfortunate situation. And yeah, I seen that happen with fake friends. It ain't necessarily got to be because they light skinned, and it ain't got to necessarily be because they prettier. Sometimes because they got more money, they got more shine, they got more notoriety. It's different factors to this. But as we see, it seems like, and a lot of people agreeing that it's more to how she looked. Another person said those people definitely were not friends. Another person says, I talk to my granddaughter every day. I told her every day is everybody is not your friend. Don't take nothing from nobody or go in people's houses. If you need anything, you know, me and your mom got you whatever you need. Now, I will say that. My dad told me that all the time. You ain't got no friends. I'm your friend. And, you know, at times when I was a kid, I didn't want to hear it. But the reality was, I don't want my friends. Fake friends. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not a friend. You have associates. And sometimes you got to be around them for certain places, certain point like school or work or whatever. But outside of that, go about your business. So that right there, definitely facts. It's unfortunate. And I will say prayers to Miss Kayla. And I hope she get the justice that she deserves. But you already know why I'm here, Cows Gang. I got to know, is Kayla Horne from Arlington, Texas, is she a victim or volunteer?
Y'all tell me what y'all think. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Cows Gang, Cows Gang.